Welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey. We are reacting to the 7-round ESPN mock draft from Jordan Reid. Hats off for getting that done. I know that's a very time-intensive process there. We, of course, will only look at the Vikings draft picks because it's a Vikings channel, right? Round 1, Round 3, Round 4, Round 5, and Round 6 are all of the draft selections the Vikings have this year. They are a little bit lighter in that category than maybe even the front office would like. So trade down's possible throughout the draft, but we're focused on the picks because there were no trades. Round 1, number 23 overall, Jordan Addison is the pick here out of USC. I am a fan of his game still. And a big reason why is he did two very different styles at USC and at Pitt. Pitt, much more of a downfield volume, big play threat. USC, a bit more of an under-the-neath, short area, quick pass guy. He does offer you some value. 2 points after the catch, 2.78 yards per route run is fantastic production. You could try him in the slot year one, some outside ability there too. I'm just reading off my draft notes here right now. A lot more deep catches last year, shorter stuff this season. He's a very, very good route runner. He did not test the way that I was expecting and hoping him to. 4.49 is fine, but it does raise red flags when you check in at the combine at a much smaller size than what people were hoping there. 4.49 in general is pretty fast. When you're 5'11 and 1/10 or 1/8 and 173, that's a rather concerning prospect profile and not the Stephon Diggs comparables that some I know were hoping for. But the production's been great. He did miss time in 2022, but he was the Blitnikoff Award winner for the best wide receiver in 2021 with Pitt. Now, he's not very physical. He's never going to be a contested catch guy. You might have to use him some slot, some scheme stuff there, but the route running, being a quarterback-friendly guy, does remind me some of Emmanuel Sanders, and I think Sanders kind of tapped out as a high-end too, and I think that's probably going to be Jordan Addison's ceiling as well. I just don't know if he has the requisite raw traits of the size, the speed to fully become the wide receiver one. There are exceptions, but the range of outcomes tapers off much more in that wide receiver two there. Didn't test the way Garrett Wilson did, for example, athletically, but he's definitely worth this round 1 pick for USC, or for Minnesota out of USC. So would you draft him? D for draft, P for pass. Let me know in the comment section. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know, D or P. Round 3, it's an off-ball linebacker, Owen Pappoe out of Auburn, who you guys all know Brian Asamoah. That's probably what you're going for again here. The undersized but highly athletic, undersized in terms of weight, I should say. God, good arm life. Undersized, weight-wise, but highly athletic, run and chase linebacker. 4.39 40-yard dash is pretty awesome testing. Really great vertical jump, 35.5 inches there. Solid broad as well. And we know linebacker is an area of concern for this Vikings team. And I think Brian Flores would be okay with 2 smaller linebackers. I do wonder deep down if maybe he'd prefer a thumper at some point. But it is much easier to find the thumper, the less good coverage guy later in the draft than it is to find the top-end athletes, because the top-end athletes end up going earlier than that. Round 4, it's a quarterback. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the longtime UCLA quarterback. The argument of going quarterback in the 4th round is that you think he could maybe become a starter for you. I think this is early. I think he is among the better of the day 3 quarterback types. I think he's probably quarterback 5 or 6, because I don't really believe in the Stanford kid Tanner McKee this year. I think that the athletic ability is a really great dual threat. Helps his floor. I think in general the mobility is a must in the modern day NFL. Unless you're super advanced pre or post snap, that mobility is going to make your life a lot easier. He has shown improvement over the course of his college career. He has that dual threat ability. The arm is fine. I don't consider it elite. It's probably above average for his smaller size at 6'2", 203. A lot of experience as well. He's shown some growth there. Does have some fumbles. The decision-making is maybe not what you want for a fifth-year starter, and the accuracy is not elite, but it was much better this year. Jumped up to 69.6%. He was a career 63% guy, so probably coming off his best year ever. I'm looking at his raw numbers here. He's got 10,000 career passing yards, almost 2,000 rushing yards. So that level of experience will help. And it's the old Bill Parcells rules. You want a 3-year starter. He was basically he was a near 5-year starter. Some COVID years, not full time, so it's kind of cheap there. I think he'd be a good fit in Minnesota. I think he has a very good chance of being better than Kellen Mond was. That's a low bar, I know, but I think DTR is much more polished and much less scattershot than Kellen Mond ever was, who Chris Sims once claimed was a top 40 quarterback, which was kind of funny there. Quarterback might be a need long term. I kind of worry that the fourth round often is like it's the half measure. Like, it's not a great guy, and you probably are reaching a little bit because you want the quarterback. But Kirk Cousins was a 4th round pick. So how many more years will Kirk Cousins be quarterback 1 for the Vikings? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Round 5, Jalen Redmond out of Oklahoma came in at the combine 6'2" and some change, 291. I think he's a 3 technique player. You could probably play him in the 5 technique when Minnesota wants to go with 3 men up front on that defensive line. He's going to get drafted in large part because of his combine. Awesome production, even at 291, 4.8, 140. The 10-yard split was fantastic. The vert, the broad, the bench press, all those numbers are fantastic for a player of that size. Now, despite the athletic ability, you go, why does he have 7.5 sacks the past 2 years? Well, I don't think he reacts or sees the game that well. I think he's a little bit slow to process there. He played at a lot of nose guard for 291, which it's Big 12 football. They put the skinny guys in the middle for reasons I will never fully understand. My player comp is Neville Gallimore because that is an Oklahoma DT who played out of position and needs development despite pretty good athletic traits. That, I think, is a pretty good comparison there. One big thing he's got to get cleared, despite being a good rotation defensive lineman, medical has to get checked out here. He had some blood clotting issues in the past. That has to be checked off. I think it will be, but if he slides to the 6th round, that could be hey, maybe teams flunk the medical side there. So put him in the 3 tech, 5 tech. I bet he plays better than he did at Oklahoma. What do you think is the Vikings' biggest need right now? Sound off for me in the comments section. And while you're voting, click the link you'll see in the comments in the description for the Vikings NFL Draft hats. Chatsports.com/Vikings Draft. That link is going to be in the comments section and the description of today's show. I love the purple one, by the way. I think that's the best looking one they got. So go get yours today. Chatsports.com/Vikings Draft. Kei'Trel Clark, next up, the final pick out of Louisville, the cornerback. I think I might have forgotten to mention some of the team schools, but you guys know there's the logo and stuff. I actually just finished him last night, funnily enough, so good timing here. He was mainly an outside cornerback at Louisville, but at 5'10 1/4, 181 with 25 and 5/8 inch arms, I think he has to go play nickel corner in the NFL. The burst is good. The short area quickness is very good there. He is super physical. At the catch point. That is where he does his best work there. He's also, I think, regressed the past couple years. Way too many touchdowns allowed. 12 touchdowns allowed the past 2 years. Same with flags. 16 flags the past 2 years. I think he's better in zone. Maybe stay on the outside. If you're going to run man from Minnesota and put him in the nickel, I think that could make some sense. The biggest issue I have is less the individual draft picks made here by Jordan Reid and more, that's the first cornerback that they took. And in general, 6th round is a backup. So you have not been able to address your singular biggest need with the way this draft goes down. And look, you're doing 7-round mocks. You're not going to be able to make every fan base happy because not every fan base is happy come draft end. That's how it works. But I would probably change the 3rd-round pick in particular. I like Owen Pappoe, but if you're not getting a corner till the 6th round, Do we trust Murphy, Evans, and Booth? Because I don't. I'm scared of that. So the picks were Jordan Addison, receiver from USC, Owen Pappoe, linebacker from Auburn, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback from UCLA, OU defensive tackle Jalen Redmond, and Louisville, being sure at Liberty, by the way, cornerback Kei'Trel Clark. Grade the mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for me in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give it a C+. I mean, like, I'm excited about getting Addison. It was early for me on Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and no corner. If that was the Vikings' real draft, I wouldn't like it that much. Therefore, it gets a C+.